Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. My name is Kay Cote, and I'm your host for today's episode. And today on the show, we have Ian Weston, Managing Director of Mark 3D UK Limited, as my guest. We're going to be learning about his business, his journey to business ownership, best practices, and maybe some challenges that he's faced along the way to give you that inside look to what it's like to run and operate a business. If this is your first time on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop episodes like this. Hi, Ian. It's so great to meet you. Thanks for being here today.
Hello, Kay. Thank you for inviting me on.
Of course. Well, before we get into the nuts and bolts of your business, share a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am, as you, some people will tell by the accent, I'm based in the centre of England. Some say Birmingham, but it's not. It's North Worcestershire, which is a little bit different if you come from that area. And I've been an engineer all my life, but changing from engineer to business owner has been interesting. That's been one of the things that we'll probably chat about a bit further today. Started off my after school working at Rover Cars at Longbridge, where they made the Mini and the Metro and lots of other things. Learnt my engineering there, which was great fun. And yeah, the business isn't far from there today. In fact, when we first opened the business, my choice was to take it back to Longbridge, where they had an incubator for small businesses. So yeah, I've been in and around engineering and software, CAD, and all sorts of things for a long time now.
Wow, that's incredible. And yes, I am excited to dive into kind of where that transition from engineer to business owner was. So I'd love to hear the history. How did you get started in, in the business?
In this business, we'd been working in an environment where we were selling CAD for a number of years. Had some very good colleagues working with me, and eventually the business was sold. Uh, and my services were, I was duplicate, put it that way. And I thought, well, Ian, if you are up for it, now is the time to start your own business because you've always promised yourself you would do it. So we took the plunge in 2018, partnered with somebody that was doing exactly the same business as we have today in Germany, and we're making a good success of it. The German business is an investor in this one, and took some another partner on board, the former chief exec of the business I was working for, and we opened the doors on January the 1st, 2018, and thought, wow, we must be crazy, but we went for it. It's been fascinating ride. It really has.
Oh, wow, what an incredible journey, especially when you were like, okay, now's the time. Let's
Yeah,
make it happen. And
it was then or never.
isn't that how it sometimes happens?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so okay, so this is incredible. You've started the business, you're going. What was that experience like? Like what was the why behind starting the business in what you're doing?
Okay, so we'd seen the 3D printers we resell are from the USA, coming from Boston. They're a range of printers called Mark Forged, and they're specifically for engineers. And during our time as a CAD reseller, we saw these printers and realized the quality of them. And actually, a lot of the audience is exactly the same people that use CAD would be using this. So it was an obvious step. But my a big part of my background, it comes from the machine tool industry. So I've worked for some big players, Mazak, worked for wire erosion companies, selling die sinkers and things like that, and had a great time working for a company called Armada for 7 years. And I really enjoyed machine tools. And uh, 3D printing or additive manufacturing is a mixture between software, my manufacturing skills from Rover, and machine tools. So it's kind of a perfect fit. It all glues together. Doesn't mean I'm any good at it, but it's good fun.
It sounds like it. I'm very intrigued with like the developments of especially with 3D printing and things like that. So, before we deep dive even further into the business, I'd love to learn about your team. Like, have you built a team around this, and how
Yeah.
many team members are you at?
Okay, so we started January 1st, 2018, and late January, mid to late January, I interviewed a young lad called Max in a pub, and I knew Max anyway, and his interview was a foregone conclusion. But I managed to twist his arm. I said, "Max, I'm doing something crazy. Do you want to come and join me?" And he said, "Well, I'm crazy. I'll come along." And on the 22nd of February, he joined the business, and on that day, we were commissioning the first printer we'd sold. So he came out on his first day out and just got stuck in. And that's been our mentality ever since. Everyone in the team just gets their head down, pedals hard, and we all get stuck in. Most of the team, there's 10 of them now, including myself. And I've also got a great advisor, a gentleman called Peter. And Peter's one of the investors here. So he would be number 11, but we don't pay him. But he's a big part of the business. And most of the team here are people that I've met or know throughout business. And we're quite a cohesive bunch. We all work hard for each other, cover each other, and we all try and be multi-skilled so I can pack boxes as good as the rest of them. That's what we need to be when we're our size. But we take a lot of pleasure in um, in working together. We go out, we go eating, drinking, do all sorts of things.
Oh, wow. It sounds like a very well-oiled machine, a
Yeah,
great team that you work with. That's incredible. Kind of looking at the clients you serve, if I
yeah.
or say I were to walk through your doors or check out your website, how would I know I'd be a great fit for you?
Okay. There's an easy qualification, and we do it all the time. We ask ourselves, and we often relook at our market sector. And the qualification is an engineer in any sector of the market with pain, with that all the engineers I know are skills rich and time poor because they're so busy.
Mm,
So if we can buy them back some time where they don't have to stand making things or organizing subcontractors to do things or procuring things, to get a print going on one of our machines is 5 to 10 minutes, and then they can get back to their day job. So, basically, we're helping them with free manufacturing while they're doing their day job. This little printer or big printers whirring away in the background. So, if you walk through our doors, we would be assessing the pains you have in your business life and trying to work with you to solve them. But whether you're the size of Microsoft or you're just K that comes in, everyone gets treated exactly the same.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
I
Philosophy.
That is a beautiful philosophy. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Which actually leads perfectly into my next question about, who would be your target size? Are you working with, like you said, businesses of all sizes or,
Yeah.
oh, that's wonderful.
Um, yeah, we work with businesses of all sizes. There are a number of what I would term cottage industries that have got off the ground because they've been able to 3D print at home. Some of the printers, most of them, fit on a 240-volt plug or a
Mm,
three-pin plug, plug straight into the wall, and off they go. So there are people that have been developing products and completing projects in back bedrooms till they get either funding or there are enough orders they can move into a workshop and they grow. And we've had people go from one printer to 15 printers in 18 months.
wow.
It's been wonderful. Um, at the moment, we don't have a size of company we target. We'll work from a single person all the way up through to Rolls-Royce, you know, or people
Mhm.
of that size. Yeah, it's all about a return on investment. And you can have a big return on investment if you're a small company, and you can have a big one if you're a big company. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got it, it makes sense.
Mhm. Definitely. Well, that's incredible, just learning about what you do and how you're doing it, how you're working. And now I'd like to see how are you getting the word out about your business and finding those clients?
Yeah. The, one of the nicest ways to find a client or a customer, as we call them, is actually referral. Somebody saying, Ian and his team have done a good job for me. You should go and talk to them. Indeed, we had some referral work the other day that came through, and I was delighted. Um, but it's fascinating when you look at it. People move jobs, and we'll say, Ian, I had a printer at the last place from you. I need another one. Um, so we get some quite a bit of work like that. But there's outbound sales activity, of course. We do a lot of trade shows. The nice thing about 3D printers is if you get them in front of people, they love to watch them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge benefit, I think, is
Yeah.
like the demo.
Yes, it is. But the problem is when you've got your own 3D printer, you spend too long watching it in the first few weeks and not getting on with your work. But it's such a pleasure when you come in the morning and you see this wonderful finished component on it that's done overnight while you're sleeping or whatever you're doing. Um, and some of them are really complex because for the technology we sell, complexity is free.
Mm,
Doesn't matter how complicated it is. And I always go back to my apprenticeship at Longbridge. Um, and the trainers there used to say, Ian, that's a great idea, but you'll never make it. You'll never physically manufacture that because you haven't thought about machining or you haven't thought about this. And that was part of my learning. Well, I can make anything now and almost anything. And I'd love to see the guys that trained me because they'd go, oh, look at you now. Yeah.
wow, that is very cool. And I kind of want to take it back, looking back at what you've built so far within your business. What is maybe, because like as business owners, we're always challenged, right? What is
Oh,
the
yeah.
challenge? It's like a never-ending thing, but what is the challenge you were faced with, since you started the company that you overcame, and how did you do it?
There are a couple of things. COVID had a good go.
Mm,
We started off, we grew. First year, we were very pleased with our turnover. Second year, 2019, we grew, and 2020, we were flat because of COVID, and many people shrunk, but people were starting to buy 3D printers because their supply chain had dried up. So
mm,
they're having to make stuff themselves. Coming out of that, the 3D printing had got a good rep and people were buying printers. So 21 and 22 were big growth years. And funding that has been interesting, trying to keep pace, trying to keep growing your staff, funding it all. Uh, yeah, that's been challenging. Cash flow. Yeah.
mm.
But, we're there. We're all right. We're fine. It's been a lesson in life.
That is true. And, kind of looking at like cash flow things now, are you looking to expand your team, or are you in an expansion mode in the company right now?
At the moment, because of the economy the way it is, there's a little bit of caution about. So,
Mm,
what we're seeing our customers reflecting caution to us before they invest. We're just following suit for a moment. So we're sitting steady, but that doesn't mean we wouldn't invest if the right opportunity came up.
mm,
We've got money to invest. We just need to wait and see what's around the next corner. And you never know. You never
mhm.
know.
Yeah, definitely very true. Looking at where you want to grow, even within this like time we're in right now, um, what's the vision for the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh, okay. I'll, do you know what? If somebody gave me £1 million, I'd invest it back in my business straight away because I actually know where I want the business to go. Um, and funding it would be a great fun to do that. But we're going to grow organically and we're going to double our size in between 3 and 5 years. That's the plan. And we're all going to do that with hard work and treating people as we'd like to be treated ourselves.
Definitely. That's the golden rule. That's a golden nugget.
Yeah. Obviously, if any of the staff ask me, what should I do? I just say, well, how would you like to be treated? And if
Mm.
ever I'm not about, make that decision and I'll back you. And that's the way we work because I'm too old for trouble.
I love that. Well, this actually leads perfectly into my next question, which is, describing your leadership style. It sounds like you
Uh,
built something really beautiful. Love to hear how you
um,
lead.
we laugh every day.
Yes.
We do, honestly. We laugh and we have such great fun. But there's a serious side to us. 99% of the way I go about doing things is encouraging, mentoring, holding people's hands and walking them through it if they've done it the first time, if they're a member of staff. A very small 1% of me is we've got to do it this way. I'm sorry, but
Mm,
and you need to do that. But I try to be open as I can. Can't be open about everything, of course, but I think it's important that your staff know exactly where you are. And when we look down at the business performance each month, everybody sits in and they all get told, know your numbers, and they
mm,
all learn them and understand them, all the way from the most junior person all the way up. Yeah,
that's really great too. It's like the team, there's a good synergy within
there
your
is, there
team.
is, but we do laugh.
I think that's the key to life, is laughter for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this has been such a great conversation. I've absolutely loved it. Now I want to go into a fun part of the Q&A, which is
Okay.
it's our rapid fire where I ask you four
Oh, okay.
questions.
I'll
Yeah.
sit up in my seat a little bit. Ready?
Okay. Question number one is, what is the key to success for you?
Um, Treating people as you like to be treated yourself.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And giving people dead straight answers. That's absolutely the way to do it. If I if somebody comes to me and says, "Will your machine do this?" I'll prove it to them. I don't just say yes. I'll say yes and I'll prove it. And that's the way we work.
That's wonderful. Question number two is, what is a piece of advice you have for other business owners?
Um, Laugh, smile, enjoy what you do, make the work fun. That can be through. I'm not saying muck about and don't do anything. What I'm saying is try and add some gamification. Try and have some competitions internally. Try and reward people. Small things. Every meeting I bring a bottle of wine and somebody wins it. Um, Sometimes I'll give it myself and we all laugh. Um, but everybody, we do a bottle of wine. And recently we went out brewing beer and we've got some Mark 3D ales with our stickers on.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and it just says on the back, "Do not operate your 3D printer while drinking this." Um, so we've brewed our own beer and we do all sorts of things. But it's some of that is dictated by performance, and the trick is to set achievable goals people believe they can do, and when
Mm,
they do it, reward them. All I think at the time there was 8 of us, and we all went to San Diego. Yeah,
wow.
yeah, we did. Yeah. We all
Oh,
went to San Diego. Yeah, went on the aircraft carrier and did all sorts of things.
oh,
Fantastic.
that's fun. That's on my bucket list. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, good. Yeah, very not lovely place. I believe it or not, everybody was staying in LA for the Lakers game. I had to go to a business meeting in San Diego, so I caught an Uber from LA to San Diego. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it was good fun.
Have
Yeah,
fun. That is the best. That's another golden nugget of this conversation. And question number three is, it could be either a book you've read, a podcast that you've listened to, but something that's inspired you recently.
that's not so much recently. A little while back, I'd had a few jobs back. I'd had a rather hard job, and I gave it absolutely my best. And in the end, it didn't work out how I wanted. Um, and I truly believe it was somebody else's weakness, not mine. And I was coming home on a plane from a trip abroad, and I bought a book called Who Moved My Cheese, and it's the best book I've ever read. It took half an hour on an aeroplane and it changed me. Got off the plane, different guy.
I'm gonna write
Worth
that.
a read. If ever you've had challenge in business or personal life, just read Who Moved My Cheese. It's about learning to get on with life. Great book. Great book.
Okay. That is on my list now. I just love
Please
the
do.
title.
And I know you'll phone me and go, I love that book.
Especially if it's a quick read. I like that too.
Yeah. I'm looking for it. I don't have a copy of it here. I think someone's borrowed it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
great book.
Okay, final question in our rapid fire is
Yep.
if you could wave a magic wand and overnight improve one aspect of your business, what would it be?
Um, there's a couple of areas I'd like to improve. Um, I think I'd take 10 years off me. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think I'd take 10 years off me. So I've got a full of energy and beans and run around like the nutcase I used to.
Oh, well, thank you so much for answering the rapid
That's
fire
all right.
questions.
Thanks.
Before we get to our final question for today, I would love to connect our audience with your business. How can people connect with you online?
The website is a great place to start. That's mark3d.com. You'll find it. You can go to the German area. You can go to the Dutch, Benelux area. You can go to the English speaking part of it. Because as I said earlier, we're part of a pan-European group. We're actually the biggest reseller of Mark Forged kit, which is an accolade I'm proud of. I've won a few awards off them as well, but we do. You can find a lot on the website about where we get case studies and all sorts of things like that. So you can pick the phone up to us because we like talking, as you can tell. You can email us at printstronger@mark3d.co.uk. We say print stronger because one of the USPs we have is our 3D prints are very, very strong. They've got continuous carbon fiber in them.
Mm.
So you can do things like hang vehicles off them and all sorts of crazy. We get it with crazy, we do crazy things.
I'd love to see your demos.
Yeah, we do. We do, honestly. My colleagues in Germany picked up a combine harvester with a 3D printed hook in each corner.
Wow.
Yeah, we do all sorts of crazy things, and we're going to do even crazier stuff yet. So
I can't wait to follow. That's so cool.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, this has been such a fun conversation, Ian, for our final question today. What
Okay.
what is most inspiring to you today?
Um, that's actually quite easy. Seeing my staff grow.
Mm,
Yeah, it's lovely.
mm,
I love it because you look at it and on this shoulder here, I've got whispering in my ear an old sales director I once had, and if ever I need some advice, I just think, well, what would he have done? What would he
mm,
have done at this point? And I take inspiration from it, and hopefully then when a few years time when I'm retired, well, no, 10 years time when I'm retired, they'll go along and go, what would he have done in this situation? And hopefully I can inspire them then too. So gone but not forgotten. I'm still in their ear or in their head. And
mm.
seeing them grow into their roles is fantastic for me. I love that. Um, just like because I was an apprentice, just like I like putting back, I do some STEM lectures, some science, technology, engineering, and maths lectures for people. And
Mm.
I love that, seeing that because I was one once. Yeah,
Definitely. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much, Ian. This has been
That's great.
a lovely conversation. Thanks for being on the show today.
That's all right. Thank you. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And if ever you're over in England, come say hello. Kettle's always on, and we've got beer as well.
Oh my gosh, count me in. I
Okay.
will.
All right. Thank you.